next time.
Yeah.
So, all right. It's 1 minute to 6. We have 13 participants. 13 people in waiting room. Cool. 6 o'clock. I'm letting them in. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Here we go. All right, hello and good evening, everybody. We are allowing everyone in now. So far, so quickly at 6 promptly. This is great. All right. This evening is our town hall meeting 2023 on the 1st of Feb. This is in anticipation for the Africa Burn event in 23. We have quite a bit this evening to go through. This evening, there will be myself as host and Brian as well. Brian, would you like to talk about the agenda for this evening?
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, so this town hall is one with regards to...
Yes, thank you very much. I will do so. I have to press the share button and get into full screen for everyone. Just get that done correctly. And that's the right one I want to share. I'll be admitting people as well as presenting at the same time. What I have is our presentation screen for Africa Burn. Yes, let's go through what we have here. So far, what we have is what we like to say that Mutant Vehicles is something that is like moving art, and not all the art in Quaggafontein is fixed to the ground. And this is from Quaggafontein. I think you guys should check it out at some time in preparation for all of this too. So what we have for Mutant Vehicles is that we have pretty much 47 applications, and 13 of them are pretty new to them. On site, we'll have about 4 humans. We're trying to make fun with AI, but 1 Squally patrollee on patrol with 3 DMV wranglers, meaning that we'll be in close touch with each other, letting each other know that, yes, we have our Mutant Vehicles on site. They have been registered and everything's great, or these Mutant Vehicles still need to register night license. Please adhere to that. They'll probably get from a Squally patrollee person saying so. But before we get into all the rules of it, let's look at what we have accepted into our Mutant Vehicle for event 923. This is Boombox is returning. You might have seen them already on Benacrim. Then we have the Flying Dutchman. This is a great one where you've seen a sail that's lit up with an LED screen. They bring great music. Lola, the Dead Unicorn. This is a great one we see in parts on site with Greg Bride Blixen. He's hopefully he's watching, and yes, I'm just making fun of him because I dig this man too much. Next one is Donkey and Dinky, and quite a few of Mutant Vehicles from this crew, theme cams as well as Mutant Vehicles coming through with quite with vengeance with the space theme. Out there serving bangers, which is tunes and mash, and Daisy is part of this crew of Dinky Donkey, if I get that correctly. Yeah. And last but not least, which is our Boomicon. They're great Mutant Vehicles here on Benacrim. So I'm trying to see if there is a Robert on here. He's not able to make it. I think there's some issues when he had with load shedding. But yeah, I would say, like, come on through to DMB, be a wrangler for a day, volunteer your time to understand what Mutant Vehicles are about. Make sure that Mutant Vehicles are sticking to 10 kilometers per hour online on the Benacrim. So, to have a mutant vehicle, it has to be covered. You can't just have a mutant vehicle, a vehicle on Binokring just driving around and saying, okay, cool, it looks like it's mutated. They can use that. It is some standards that we like to service vehicles. Those will be what you see as flags. Those we will take on case by case basis. That's mainly with, if you can see that on the picture and on the right. And then we need more people in our Scully Patrolly volunteers. That'll be great as well, where you go walk around with a ranger or a DMV, making sure that all our mutant vehicles are registered, and then report back any greatness or something that needs to be looked at. Everything in the communities work best together with everybody with the same thought and living principles in mind. That's me for now.
Ash, should people still be registering mutants if they're thinking of bringing them through?
Great question. So we have mutant vehicle registration right up to a month before. We may give leeway for 2 weeks before, but that's obviously with 2 mutant vehicles we know that are mutant vehicles and not new applications. And on what other things we do accept right now is that grants for mutant vehicles are still open until the 12th of February.
So you'll then announce the grant applications soon after that.
That is
and
correct,
that hopefully gives people enough time to then be able to build the mutants that are still in development.
That is correct, yes. At round 2, we will say, if you were leading to it, I would say mutant vehicles that are already established will most likely be granted funds this time around. Round 1, we look at new vehicles and the applications and assist there. Later ones, you really have to be really good at knowing what you're talking about and knowing what you want to do, and we'll consider you. Otherwise, if it's new, don't worry about it. Let's try again for next year, but at least you've gone through the process of registering a project on Tribe.
And is it right that...
That is correct, yes. We like to see alternative use of engine drives on our vehicles or mutant vehicles. Otherwise, yes, there isn't a good drive towards or favorites to those that are alternative-based energy support.
And so, I mean, from our side, we'd still very much recommend that if people have got ideas for mutants or are thinking about doing mutant vehicles for this year, that they submit those rather than waiting till next year. So there's still plenty of time to build a mobile artwork. I think it's also important that they are kind of mobile artworks or sound rigs and a part of the, a massive feature of the landscape at Africa Burn. We did see in places then they don't allow other people to ride on them and they just kind of treat them like their own personal taxis. And that's something kind of we're actively trying to discourage.
It'd be nice to see everybody bring in their ideas really earlier. If they don't make it for this year, it is definitely a good time to speak with Fern, our DMV registration wrangler. She's great at this, and she's always there to assist you with your ideas, but also keeping inside the DMV rules or mutant vehicle rules and safety, especially. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's super important. There is a wealth of knowledge within DMV and lots of battle scars from builds, and they're really happy to give advice. And when you submit your applications, they're very happy to kind of point you in the right direction in terms of giving you good advice with builds and getting them to site and all sorts of different things.
Yes. Willem, I see your hand is up. You can unmute yourself, yes. And
Hi everybody. When I bought tickets I bought a vehicle pass. What was that for?
I can step in here.
Cool. Perfect.
So the vehicle pass is just every vehicle coming to site, and that's the vehicle that you're traveling in needs to have a vehicle pass. So there's two different types. There's I always get confused. It's the vehicle, basically RVs are slightly more expensive, and then there's the normal vehicle, trucks and motorbikes coming in. So basically, if your car is coming in, it needs to get a vehicle pass and a sticker.
Super. Thanks.
Yeah.
Question answered.
That's cool. And that's to encourage people to ride share and not have the site like a giant car park.
Great. Yes. Thank you very much for that question, Evelyn. Mutant Vehicles. I started that out because, gosh, I was just into engines and making sure that everything was fine. And the next thing I know I was helping out with Robert. I mean, gosh, that guy knows everything inside an engine to make sure that in the deserts we can get it right up and running. But also, if I can bring in Squally Petroli just quickly, it is something that we need to look out for, as if you're a mutant vehicle owner and you get approached by a wrangler that is from Squally Petroli. Please listen to them. They're there just to make sure that everybody's having fun. It's just good to have a conversation, everybody on the same page. They're also there to have fun, but it's also just to keep everybody on the same side of things.
Cool. Should we jump onto theme camps?
Lexi?
Sure. Hi, everyone. I'm Lexi. I'm Team Camp Coordinator this year. I didn't prepare a big slideshow like Bash did, and I'm sorry about that. But that's because I want you to be surprised at the theme camps that we have when you get there. So no spoilers from me. Sorry, Bash. We've got 70. We've just had our 70th camp registered today, which is a really good number. We've got, some really big sound camps, all of the party camps that you're looking for, as well as some really interesting, cute, tiny ones and everything in between. I think it's going to be a great year for theme camps. So that's very exciting. And as I said, no spoilers from me. But yeah, so just a few things at the moment. With the theme camps, we're sort of in the sort of second phase where we've got a lot of the registrations in and people are starting to plan, get in contact with suppliers. And we're asking our theme camps now to complete this forms 2 and 3, which are on the tribe system, which is where theme camps are going to tell us how much space they need, where they want to be placed, and also sort of information about events that might be taking place. That's going to go in the What the Fuck guide. So that's where we're at now. But if you are wondering if you should start a theme camp or if you should join a theme camp, then the answer to both of those questions is probably, I'm going to say yes. Just some information on if you are wanting to join a theme camp, sort of some guidelines, where you should look, how you should find your theme camp. The tribe system, which is tribe.africaburn.com, which is where all of the theme camp, the mutant vehicle, all of your artworks and performances, it all happens on there. You can see a list of camps that are looking for people. So you can contact camps on there and see if you're a good fit. And then I would say that on social media, Facebook is probably our most active channel. And so we've got the Africa Burn Theme Camps group where a lot of people are joining camps and sort of meeting each other. So that's a good option. Another thing you can do is sort of attending events like burner bars or coming to volunteer days is where you're going to sort of meet other people and make friends. So yeah, that's a good way to join a camp. And the great thing about joining a camping is being able to share resources, but also being able to really participate in Africa Burn and, to really just interact with people in that way and really feel a sense of ownership in the festival. So yeah, it's a really great idea to join a camp. I would say that if you have any questions, if you've been approached by a camp and you're not sure if they're legit, pop us an email at steamcamps@africaburn.com. I know we've had a problem in the past a couple of times with some camps that are maybe sort of trying to profit off of us, you know, and sell us expensive spots. So if you do come across something like that, please do let us know. We'll double check if that's what's going on. So yeah, definitely join a camp. And if you're thinking of starting a camp, I would also love to encourage you to do that. It can be really anything, something small, you know, from the smallest camps where people, you know, cut hair or read tarot cards, those giant sound rigs that we've seen, and sort of all of the different camps in between. You can do that on Tribe. It's a lot of fun. It's the best way to sort of, I've always felt like it's the best way to interact with Africa Burn. I think theme camps are where those really sort of crazy, fun, special moments happen. You know, the artworks, the mutant vehicles, they're all cool, and they're amazing, and not to take anything away, but it's those small interactions that happen in camps that make it really special. And I think having your own camp or joining a camp really allows you to participate in a different way. So yeah, you can get hold of us, like I said, you can email, you can get us on the Facebook groups. Yeah, go ahead, and any questions. Sorry, I talk very quickly. Sorry if you all got that.
Lexi, there's Skippy's hands up, as well as a question, well, 2 questions from Eva in the chat. So
sure. Skippy?
Okay, cool. Thanks. I'm really, really, really excited. I can't wait. I don't expect any spoilers whatsoever, Lex, but please blink twice if Aliens Coffee is coming back.
I mean, look, nothing is written in sand or stone at the moment, so anything can happen between now and April.
Here's hoping. Thank you.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Eva. Hi, Eva. I think we've been speaking on email. The timeline for information. What's the timeline for information on how many work access passes will be allocated to each camp? And given the new map, any advice on where to ask for placement? Looking for a lively area during the day to attract passers-by, but not next to a big sound camp. Okay, so to answer your first question, I don't know the answer today, but we will communicate with you shortly. So
I can answer. Lexi, I can answer. We're going to start rolling. We're going to start rolling WEPs out probably in March. And I guess my advice to you, anyone that can actually request WEPs, if you're a registered theme camp or registered project, is to start getting your lists together of who needs to have a WEP, so that once we allocate those all out to you, you can then allocate them out to your people. Because the thing about WEPs is that you allocate it to your crew, but they need to go and fetch it from Quicket and download it. And that I find, because I run the box office, I find that that's one of the biggest problems, is that I see that the WEP has been allocated, but they haven't actually redeemed it or downloaded it. So get your lists ready, so that once we press go on that sort of end of February, March, you'll be able to send out all your WEPs in one go, and people will be able to get that all downloaded and ready for the gate.
Thanks, Julia. Thanks so much.
And sorry, quick question. Is there a limit? Sorry, quick question. Is there a limit to how many per camp, like for this list that we're preparing?
There's definitely a limit. Yes, so we're gonna look at it on a case-by-case basis. If there is a big theme camp or a big artwork that requires quite a lot of crew, then we'll definitely allocate that, appropriately. But if there's like a small mutant vehicle, let's call it like a very small mutant vehicle, and they're requesting 50 WEPs, then we're more than likely not going to allocate that amount of WEPs to them. So it's based on the whole sort of all the information you've given us in terms of your registration and what we feel is an appropriate amount of WEPs to give you.
Yeah, it's going to be based on how many people them, but as Julia said, it's on a case-by-case basis. Yeah, just in case anyone isn't sure, the WAP, the work access pass, is what allows you to come onto site on sort of before the gates open on Monday, so that you can get your camps or your artwork set up in time for the Monday morning. And then your question about the map, you know, I guess the map is going to be similar to last year, but not the same. If you don't have an idea of exactly where you want to be, sort of just describing the area that you've done, like a lively area, not next to big sound camp, will help us then place you. So you don't need to give us an exact address, but if you don't know sort of where you are, just tell us, I guess, the kind of area you want to be in, and we'll do our best, because it's a, you know, a whole committee doing the placements. So, you know, they know the city, we know the city, we'll be able to very much say this is the best place for you. So don't worry about giving us an exact address.
Thanks for all that. Just as a rule to bring everyone who's in this is Stefan and Vince's iPhone 13 Pro. They would like to speak. So please take it away, and then Stefan, and then yeah.
Yeah, I can see Stefan and Vince. But hi, and this is unrelated to artworks. To theme camps or mutant vehicles. I just thought of making the distinction there that while mutant vehicles and the theme camps and artwork grants and a whole lot of things do have a deadline, you can still register your artwork like forever. You can just bring it to if you have an artwork that you're not planning on burning or need funding for it, you can just bring it as well. We prefer if you register it, because then we can help you with whatever you need. But yeah, it's those don't close. I just thought of saying it. Thank you.
Yeah, my question is related to WAPs. I did a little mutant last year, and getting WAPs was, you know, and last year was obviously a new beginning, and it didn't work out properly. But I just wanted to make sure that I understand it now. If we're going to bring probably two mutants, which are both going to need quite a lot of assembly on site, can one assume that once one's registered, one will get WAP passes for mutants?
Yeah, so we'll definitely request how many WAPs that you need, or you'll tell us, and we'll request sort of motivation. If your number is really high, you can definitely motivate. We're not going to stop your crews from coming to site to build the thing that you're building for the desert. And yeah, so if you are registered, yes, you automatically do get access to work access passes. Yeah, and just one thing that Jackie actually mentioned is that, just so everyone knows, your work access pass accompanies your ticket, so you have to have an Africa Burn ticket as well as a work access pass. Okay, does that answer your question, Stefan? Cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Shall we go to Vince's iPhone?
Yeah, sorry about that. It's related to artwork. So we want to bring our artwork. We actually registered 3 years ago, just before COVID. We got a grant, and then obviously we couldn't go because of COVID. So I just wanted to double check that. Has it changed at all? Are we able to bring our artwork registered and actually build it at our theme camp? We don't want to build it outside our theme camp. Our artwork is part of our structure and our actual theme camp.
Okay, I guess it's me to go.
I think it might be
Hi, Vincent. What is the name of your artwork?
We haven't registered yet.
Okay.
I can't even remember the name now. We were only discussing it the other day. We're not renting a stretch tent. We're building this multi-integrity structure that is housing our camp. We live underneath it, but it's also a piece of art. So we do want to register it. I just want to know if it's okay if we keep it at our theme camp.
I would imagine that if you are going to leave in your artwork, then, and if it's going to be in a camping area, then it is a theme camp more than an artwork. If you need structural safety advice, you can write to us, but it's still a theme camp. You'll need to register that.
Oh heavens!
Yes.
Okay, we don't particularly want a theme camp, but okay, cool. I'll talk to the team about that. And I have another.
Or you can just build a. You can build whatever you want in your camp.
I mean, in terms of a theme camp can also just be sort of your artwork. It doesn't mean that you have to serve drinks at your artwork or anything like that. So please just register it as well. So at least we know that you're coming. It's a super quick process. You can even just call it a the process. But like I said, theme camps don't necessarily need to be, sort of a big bar, dance floor. There's all sorts of different kinds. So just definitely register it.
Okay, we'll register. I know the city layout changes every year. Will you be updating?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's me. Thanks.
Someone did say that. I did hear that. Okay, cool. Jackie?
Yeah, so just going back on the maps, because I'm actually from airspace, but I've been involved with the city planning. So we've been up and we've been having to tweak the map because of the sand dunes, the different obstacles and sand things. And we've got a solid plan in place. Literally now we're just trying to allocate it. So we should have that. And then theme camps, artworks, everybody can have fun just picking their spot. So that's progressing nicely.
Mike, he says, have the loud and quiet sighting decisions already been made?
I'd say that they're in progress, aren't they? I mean, we've been talking about it. It's not finalized yet, but it's coming. Is all I could say. If people do have ideas or comments or any questions, we've got sounded up.
Can I give some more detail about that according to so the idea, and this is not definitive as Lexi said, but the idea can activate it again and with things happening there. So the way we envisioning this is to have a loud front area. So if you need a quiet zone, then you will camp to the back of the of town, because the binnekryn will likely be loud. The binnekryn, the row, the buitekryn as well, probably likely to be loud.
Yeah, and we were looking at sort of also a quiet camping, that we are going to have an area that's going to be sort of dedicated quiet camping as well. So not who likes a good night's sleep at Africa Burn. It's sort of try and please everybody. But yeah, like Issa said, it would be great to have a really busy, bright, bold binnekryn. That would be lots of fun, I think. Cool. Any other questions?
Looks like we are all good. No more questions in the chat either. No. Everything's clear
Skippy
there.
Yeah.
Oh, there's no Skippy and Ian Thompson. Yeah.
For quite a few years now, there have been talks around storage space on site for artworks, theme camps, and projects and so forth. Has anything changed? How does that work? Is it working yet?
Issa, do you want this one too?
Sorry, Skippy, I wasn't paying attention. Can you repeat again?
I was just compliments every year. It's just fabulous. Now I was saying that quite a few years, for a few years now, we've been having talks around theme camps and artists and mutant vehicles and so forth, having access to storage space on site, or the possibility of having storage space on site. Is that still in the works? Is it happening? Will it be happening? What's going on? Please help. God bless. I love you.
Yes, it's yes, that is still in the works, and more than ever now, because so there are some theme camps that have some storage there already, but then we realized that we actually need to have some more things in place before we can carry on doing this. So right now it's on pause. The storage thing. I have comms on this a bit later, still this year, but yeah, right now it's on pause. It is a possibility though.
I guess, Skippy, what's happening is that we've got the team that are up there kind of looking at the map and figuring out the city map, and at the same time looking at the thing, sort of taking in so many different elements into consideration. So yeah, at the moment, as Issa said, it's paused, but it is in hand, and we will let you know.
Okay. Yeah. I'll come in now.
Yes.
Yes, great. Hi, I'm Ian from the Scary Animals. 8 people who are doing a sort of a participative camp, or it's not quite a theme camp. We have 3 mutant vehicles and 2 art projects or theatre, call them Binnenkring theatre projects. We're not quite certain what we should do as far as location of the camp, because we need to be able to bring the mutant vehicle and equipment back at night. So we need to be close to the Binnenkring, but not on it. When would we sort of know where we stand on that level? I see Brian got a smile on his face. Okay. When will we know sort of roughly where we are fit in?
Ian, you've registered the mutant vehicles and the Binnenkring events? Yeah. They should be able to enable a support camp on Tribe, and then you can register a support camp, what your requirements are in terms of, how much space you need to turn around or any of those sorts of things. And then when we do the placement, that should be sort of around March. We'll take that into account. Yeah, I think your Wranglers, your DMV Wranglers will enable a support camp on your project. If you are in need of one, and specifically if you need,
basically getting we sending the link out to registered projects first, and once they're done, then we'll open it up.
And as a mutant camp, would we be registered? Would we qualify?
Have you registered? Exactly. Yeah. A registered creative project.
Okay, fantastic. Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Do you want to carry on and go talk about suppliers?
Yeah, we talk about suppliers. Right, so suppliers are a tricky one to manage because writing default world thinking into the burn, and that gives certainly Africa Burn a lot of challenges in that we. The people that are attending, the people that are coming to the burn are there purely to make money, I guess, and they're not really buying into the culture. Anyway, so we do allow suppliers on site, but it's mostly Bedouin stretch tent companies, and then generator suppliers, and that's basically it that comes in. Now, the important thing to understand from a participant, and certainly someone who's got a creative project on site, is that your supplier can't just rock up at the event and expect to get into the event. Every single person coming into the event needs to register, needs to have a ticket. And therefore, if you're a supplier, you need to register as a supplier. And because obviously suppliers are not people that sit at their computer on ticket sales days and buys a ticket. So they register as a supplier, and then they get their supplier tickets through that registration. So as a creative lead, it's important that you make sure that if you are receiving any sort of services from an outside service provider, you need to make sure that they have registered with us, because there's a whole contract that we make them sign. And let me actually share my screen, because then you will see exactly what it is that we need. So basically, as the requirements, can everyone see that? Brian, can you see my gray area? The supply malarkey. Let's try this again. You know, is it there? Can you see it? Okay.
Yep, I can see it. It's a bit pixely, but I can see it. There it goes.
Okay, cool. So basically, as a supplier of Africa Burn, the one thing that they do is that they register with us, and then we ask them to pay a 7,000 Rand refundable deposit. Now, the reason why we started charging a refundable deposit to suppliers is because it was the only thing that we were able to hold them against if they were not complying with the rules on site, if they were causing shit on site, whatever it was. And so we started charging this refundable deposit that if they behaved and worked within the parameters that we set out in the supplier contract, then they would get paid their deposit back after they'd come back from the event. And more time, and actually once we introduced that whole thing, we only actually kept one deposit once. The rest people, they actually all very much comply with what it is that they need to comply with. Then they're able to request supply passes with us, which are tickets to the event. Sorry, just Alon, can you take it in here? Sorry, my boy. Sorry, so they'll request their tickets, supply passes, which are exactly the same price as the Africa Burn tickets, 2,500 Rand. And that we sort of do on a case-by-case basis. You know, we make sure that we don't provide too many tickets to these suppliers because we can't let that run away with us. Then there is an option. So the 2,500 ticket that we give to suppliers, that allows them to be on site for the duration of the event. The other one that we've got is a refundable one-day single entry pass, which is 3,000 Rand. And this allows the person to come to site, drop off what it is that they need to drop off, and then to leave site, and they get refunded that 3,000 Rand. So this is a very necessary pass. But what we did find is that when we've got creative crews and creative leads, it becomes very difficult for their truck driver, let's simplify it, for their truck driver to have a 3,000 Rand ticket that then gets refunded. So the one thing that we are introducing this year is that creative leads with registered projects with Africa Burn can request from their wrangler that they have a whatever delivery that they need to have delivered to their camp or to their project. They need to give us all those details, and we will run a delivery sort of, I guess, guest list at the supplier gate. So basically, these guys will come in. Let's say, let's pretend that Alien's coffee shop is there. They're having a truck of coffee being delivered. It will have on my guest list that Aliens are expecting one truck on this day, and that truck's going to leave either that day or the next day. And at least then we can track those people coming in and out. So that is a change this year, and I would urge you to please tell your wrangler what truck deliveries you need to go on this guest list so that we can allow them in at the event. One of the problems that we do have at the box office is that we get these people arriving at the gate and they've got absolutely no information whatsoever. They've got the first name of someone, and that's about it. And we go through sort of a process of elimination where none of this information they're going. So this is also a way of us trying to actually mitigate that from happening. So when I have these truck drivers arriving at the box office, I can actually help them get to their destination, and in turn help the creative project actually carry on setting up. Then the other thing that we also charge the suppliers is we charge them a 5% supplier support surcharge, and this money goes towards basically funding the supply process, which actually has become quite a big process. It's taking one person to manage it. The gate is all infrastructure that we need to pay for. So we charge them 5% of all the things that they bring onto site. But if you are a creative project lead of a registered creative project for Africa Burn, you'll get a supplier code given to you from your wrangler, and you just give that code to the supplier and they will waive that 5% off your invoice. So that money isn't actually coming from you guys. So the 5% supplier support charge is basically just it's for private camps, I guess. So that's basically it. So if you're a theme camp lead or a mutant vehicle lead or a creative project lead, please can you just make sure that all your suppliers are registered with Africa Burn. You can see whether they're registered if you go onto the supplier page on the Africa Burn website, and you'll click on the list of suppliers who have registered, and you'll be able to see who has registered. And you will also be able to see a grading that we as Africa Burn have given them about how they have complied, where there's things that we look out for, sort of the plug and play aspect. We make sure that they don't facilitate plug and plays. We make sure that they look after their crew, which is a big one. We've often had suppliers arriving on site and they don't realize that there's nothing. And so we've often had to find tents and food and all that kind of stuff just to look after their crew. So it's all that sort of stuff that we make sure that they abide by. And so basically on the supplier list online, on the Africa Burn supplier page, you'll see the grading that we've given them. But what's happened over the years is that we've actually weeded out a lot of the just the suppliers that just don't cope at Africa Burn. We've had a lot of problems with in the past where sort of tent companies think that they can provide tents at Africa Burn and they just suddenly realize that they're up against too much. And then how that sort of the snowball that starts happening after that is that, you as a creative project, you have a big theme camp and then your tent doesn't rock up. Anyway, so that's kind of what we're trying to do with the supply process. So that's the supply process. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. But just while I have you here, I just want to make sure that everyone is aware of the gate opening and closing times. If you've got a work access pass, the most important thing that you need to remember is that on Sunday, the 23rd of April, we close the gate at 7 o'clock. So if you arrive there after 7 o'clock, you're going to need to camp outside the gate at the Ja But No But camp, and you'll only be let in at 9 o'clock the next morning. So please just remember that. And the reason we do that is because it gives the event inside a chance to settle and collect our thoughts, and then for the onslaught the next morning at 9 o'clock. And then most importantly is that because this is a participant event, we close the gate again on Friday, the 28th of April at 7 o'clock in the evening, and you will get turned away after that. Then you cannot enter the event, because what exactly is your gift on Saturday? That's the thinking around that. And if you arrive on Saturday, then you won't be able to access the event. If you've so essentially when we say the gate is closed, we're saying that the box office is closed, but you can definitely come in and out with your visit, because the R355 is a killer. The R355 is a killer. So that's it from me. If you've got any questions, please let me know. Any questions? Can't see any. Ah, great. Brilliant.
Yes, that looks that's clear from everyone. It's very clear to everyone. Oh, wait. Yes, in the chat, here we go.
Yes, gate list, Kevin. Gate shifts will definitely be published pretty soon. Our volunteer committee are, I don't know, actually, Brian, do you know when the shift lists are all going to go live? I thought they had actually.
All the shift lists are live
Yes.
and linked on the website and on Quaggafontein, so you can sign up for shifts whenever. They're all filling up.
Yeah, so at the gate, you've got the gate shifts and you've got the box office shifts to sign up at. Please join us. It's fun at the gate.
Sign up for all of them.
Yeah, DMV is so much more fun, actually. Just to be, I'm not biased at all. It's just that, you will come in there and you probably leave forgetting of a lot of your mind and stuff like that, but you'll have a lot of fun. No, you should join the CIA. That is a very good point there too. That is from Tim, our head of IT there. And thank you very much.
There's not a bidding war for volunteers.
Yes. and like a lot of the time, like when you do the minimum required shifts from most portfolios, you get a T-shirt. So it's or badge, I think. I don't know.
Maybe just a hug. There's about 7 minutes left. So there's other members of the ops team here. So if anyone has any other questions kind of outside of DMV theme camps or anything else, you might be able to get an answer here tonight. If there's anything specific. We get lots of emails every day with loads of questions being asked, so it's odd that there's none all of a sudden.
Just quickly from our chat from Jackie, airspace needs volunteers too, makes greeter, surveillance, all to be updated soon. And then Roof for Rangers will give you a buff for your first ship. Nice one. The t-shirt requires multiple ships to get it. Okay, I understand that. Where do we sign up for these ships, says Dion?
So the list is on, I'll put the link in the chat, but the list is on Quaggafontein under the volunteer participate section, as well as on the website itself. The main Africa Burn site under participation, you can link through there. So it's in a few places. I'll pop it in just now. Skippy?
Yes, and of course, on site, there is always the huge thank you to our fabulous, amazing operations team. Like everything's going at quite a speed. Our heads are spinning. They're doing a wonderful job. We love you.
Thanks for saying that, Skippers. Definitely pass it on to the ops team, those that are not here. And yeah.
Skippy, you hosting the Purple Wedding this year?
Oh shit! I need to register that, right?
Yeah, you might.
Well, I have sorted a venue, so yes.
Have you? Where? What, Tanquatown?
Now, this year, Chillers is proudly hosting the Purple Wedding.
Ooh, that'll be new.
Thursday evening, or late afternoon, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, upon registration,
we'll expect your proposal in due course.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Anyone else? Otherwise, we'll try have another town hall or two in the run up to the event as things start warming up. But yeah, you can just reach out through all the usual channels. Hopefully, you've got all the support and information you need. But if not, yeah, just info@africaburn.com, and then we'll funnel it through to the most appropriate place. Yeah, the levels are seeing what wonderful things you're all going to do. Someone's asked just quickly about the days, the leopard print day, Thursday, tutu Tuesday, no pants Wednesday.
No, Brian, that was just your day, no pants Wednesday.
No pants weekdays. White Wednesday, sorry, my mistake. Cool. So yeah, so you've got all the information. We'll have another town hall. Hopefully you've got everything you need. We love you all lots. Thank you so much to all the ops team, DMV, Bash, Lexi, Julia, for the information and taking the time to sit with us tonight. Yeah, we look forward to seeing you all in a few months' time. Yeah, sign off.
Great. Your poster. What's that? What did I just say? Yes, ask Brian about that in info@africaburn.com. And watch out for volunteer days in our social media from Lexi and the team. Cool. We're getting hearts from Conran Hoob. Thank you very much for that. Yes, everybody. Yes, look out for thank you, Dee, for the hearts, Lexi too. And definitely look out for the comments from Brian and the team too. Cool. Have a good one. Thank you, Claudia, Ian, Mariska. It's so nice to see you guys. Willem, yes, time to party. Okay, cool. Have a good evening, everybody.
I want to say a big hello to Conrad.
Say it.
Conrad, hello, and nice to see you here.
Hi.
How's it,
Can you hear
Conrad?
me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Hi, how are you?
Good. Let's stay in touch.
Yeah, of
All
course.
right.
Like when you're trying to leave a party and your partner keeps saying hello to everyone.
Sorry.
It's creativity.
That's right. Lekker, lekker. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for coming out. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, everyone. Ciao, ciao. Bye.